Oh,
So, hello everybody. Welcome to our March Family Affair at the Bronx Museum. We do these online hour-long programs at least once a month, and this is our March program. We have two half-hour activities. So first up, our wonderful educator Aurelio is going to lead us through learning a song and then do an art activity inspired by the song. Then at 2:30, another one of our educators, Edwin, will be doing a collage activity. So if you're able to, if you're near the Bronx Museum, in the week leading up to each family affair program, we have bags of free art supplies for families to pick up, and those are the art materials that we recommend using for the activities that our educators lead. If you're not able to pick those up or you weren't able to this time, we try to generally use materials that you might already have at home or to suggest substitutions of stuff you might already have. So we'll try to make it clear what you can use instead if you're not able to pick those up. But if you are, again, able to come to the museum, we encourage you to keep that in mind. If you're coming to a family fair in the future, you'll be able to pick up free art supplies at the museum. And also, we do record these programs, and they're available on our website on the Family Affair page of the education section. So you can always go back and rewatch or watch programs that you weren't able to attend. You'll be able to ask questions or comments through the chat and through the Q&A function. And with that, Aurelio, take it away.
hi, thank you, Neil. Okay, so today we're going to do two things. We're going to sing and then we're going to draw and make art. We're going to make art with a beautiful rainbow. Um, so, um, the song that we're going to sing, I've been singing music that I play with my group and a community from Mexico. It's called Son Jarocho. And we've been learning songs. We did, last time we did La Guacamaya, Neil.
Mm-hmm.
And
Last time we did Pajaro Cool.
O Pájaro Cu, we have La Guacamaya before and La Manta. Um, Many of the songs refer to nature and to life. These are countryside folk who play this music. And so they're constantly surrounded by what their animals, creatures, and vegetation they observe and they live with. So this song is about an unusual bird. Most people wouldn't sing about this bird because this bird is a bird of, how would you call that, Nell?
A bird of prey,
No, the
a
bird of prey is the
scavenger,
one that hunts,
a scavenger.
a scavenger. The scavenger goes to the things that are rotting on the earth, and they go and they mess with it and they eat part of it, and then they made it and distribute it on the land. It seems that this makes a balance. The scavengers also are part of a cycle. Um, like beetles too, they work on the earth on the things that need to be reprocessed. So in any rate, we sing this song about the vulture. In Spanish, it's el sopilotito. Sopilotito. And that's the word is sopilote. And sopilotito, the ito is the diminutive, like little for any word. If you add ito, ita, then it becomes I lost the skill. Oh, yeah. Then it becomes little. In English, we need to say little, but in Spanish, you say ito or ita. Um, then the word becomes diminutive and it's a word of endearment, like little in English. So if we call it Aurelio is my name. My mother used to call me Aurelito. It's like a way of a term of endearment. So, so pilotito is the word, and we're gonna start with the words. Just we're gonna go for there are two stanzas. The first one goes, un sopilotito, un sopilotito. Oh, that's a beautiful um, um, drawings now. A la garza regañaba. The N has a tilde, so the pronunciation is ni. A la garza regañaba. So that's the first stanza. Un sopilotito, a la garza regañaba. And the next line is, porque sus patitas no se las lavaba. So regañaba, lavaba rhyme. So, and they have the word a, which is easy. So let's just do it one more time. Un
Pilotito.
sopilotito, un sopilotito. I don't hear you, Patrick.
Sorry, I was muted.
A la garza regañaba,
Regañaba.
porque sus
patitas,
patitas, porque
porque
sus
sus
patitas
patitas
no se
no
las
se las
lavaba.
lavaba.
So the letter A in Spanish is A, open A, all over. So that's easy. The next stanza is ay vuela que vuela, fly, fly, fly. Ay vuela que vuela, ay vuela que vuela, va volando por el cielo. Yeah, it's flying in the sky. Y si tú me quieres, y si tú me quieres, ya no me desvelo. One more time. Y si tú me quieres, y si tú me quieres, ya no me desvelo. Good. So, can we do the second stanza one more time? Ay, vuela, que vuela. Ay, vuela, que vuela. Va volando por el cielo. Y si tú me quieres, y si tú me quieres, ya no me desvelo. Nice. Good. So I'm gonna sing it first slowly, and then you repeat after I'm gonna say un sopilotito, a la garza regañaba, singing, and then you will do it with you'll repeat after me.
Okay.
And that's how the song goes. Usually a person sings and then the other person responds half of the stanza. And that's a call and response singing. It happens all the time in Son Jarocho. Okay? So I'm gonna start. I need to tune up. Okay. Un sopilotito, a la garza regañaba, porque sus patitas no se la lavaba. Ready? Un sopilotito, a la garza regañaba, porque sus patitas no se la lavaban. Let's do it one more time from the beginning. Un sopilotito, a la garza regañaba, porque sus patitas no se la lavaban. Now, ay vuela que vuela, okay? Ay vuela que vuela, ay vuela que vuela, va volando por el cielo. Y si tú me quieres, ya no me desvelo. One more time. Ay vuela que vuela, ay vuela que vuela, va volando por el cielo. Y si tú me quieres, ya no me desvelo. Bravo!
All right.
Should we move on to drawing?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
We have about 15 minutes more.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, I mean, I think we can do one more time the song if it's
Sure. Yeah, let's do it one more time all together if that works.
together, and we can do it just all along without repeating
Sure.
the stanzas. and just that way we can remember it, okay?
Great, yes, and please sing along at home. We can't hear you, but we would love you to join us.
Yes.
And there will be a recording of this, so you'll get to hear our voices again.
Yeah, you may find versions of Oso Pilotito on YouTube from Son Jarocho from Veracruz in Mexico. So there's a few groups that sing it. This is a very old song. These are songs that aren't played and sung that often. People prefer La Bamba and more modern songs. And so Pilotito are really countryside songs that are very beautiful, but not sung that much. So, but you still may be able to find it. And if you don't, we still have our song recorded in the Bronx Museum of the Arts.
Yes, so we're making our own song that you can find, yes.
Continuing the tradition. Okay, so here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Punto pilotito, al alzar se viajaba, porque sus patitas no se las daba. Ay, vuela que vuela, ay, vuela que vuela, va volando por los cielos. Tú me quieres, si tú me quieres, ya no me desespero.
Yes. Great, thank you. Good. So now we're going to turn. You're gonna see me sideways drawing, but also here we are. If you like to pin this image, that's
Yes.
what we will be working on. This is a bird. It could be any bird they float, and they call it cruising when they float like that. Here in Washington Heights, I see hawks, little hawks that they do. They are very common in this part of the area. So the sopilote is one. They usually fly with other sopilotitos, and they fly in community. But here we will just draw one, okay? So we have this is what we will do. We have the shape of what we are going to do. The shape is...
Just interrupt really quickly, I'm sorry. There was someone in the chat who was having difficulty seeing. What I recommend you do is in the upper right-hand corner, it says view. And if you change your view to gallery view, you can then see all of our faces, and you can also see where Aurelio is working. And if you even want to do something else, in the upper right-hand corner of the image where Aurelio is drawing, you can choose to pin, meaning it just gives you a little option in that right-hand corner where you can make that the one screen that you're looking at. Okay, sorry, Aurelio, go right ahead.
We can start. But these are the shapes that we're going to do. But I would like you not to draw them. These are the wings. It's like a plane. But we're gonna draw it slowly. I just wanted to show you this. So you can see the shapes. But we're gonna do a more organic approach to it in this drawing. And we're gonna draw it very simply. You're gonna follow me, and we're gonna do the lines. Still, we're gonna do like something like a triangle. And we are going to start in the middle of your paper.
So Aurelio, I'm gonna stop you for a second and just, because I know I don't have mine, let everybody take a moment and go gather their paper.
Oh my God,
they don't have them.
Sorry.
So no, that's okay. Yes, so any kind of paper that you have and a pencil or a pen. You might also want to grab some colored pencils or markers because we're going to be adding color later, I think.
Yes, markers should be a great thing to have, and I'm ready with color pencils too. And that's the simplest part of it. It's a beautiful approach with that. Okay, so that's how we're gonna start. Sorry, I forgot to talk about materials.
No problem. Everyone's gathering them now, and looks like we're all ready to go.
Okay, so again, we're going to go to the middle of your paper, and maybe your hand like this. This is where the bird will be. The body or the head, and then the wings will go this way. So I would like you to do like this shape, like this, if you can do it. So it's a shape going that way. Then we're gonna go one side and then to the other. That's where the wings will be. So you're gonna make a curve and then just continue on a line outside like this. Nice, Neil. You went to the other side too, so that is good. So now we're gonna just go to the other
I
side.
went a step ahead.
Yeah, very good. And so we have one side of the front of his or her wings, and then the other side like that. Okay, and then we're going to do the feathers like kind of lines going up and down, just, and they are kind of close together. You can see that. They are like wavy lines that we are doing. And they're coming back just below where the upper wing is, the wing is, just kind of like along with it, but you need space to make the wing, right? So that's what I'd like you to do. Just following me that way. And then we're gonna do the other side, which is right here.
Oh,
Yeah?
yeah. I think we lost your video on the phone.
Thank you.
There we go. And I don't know if that helps, but there are some folks in the chat who are having a hard time seeing. So I hope that that helps and you can see it now, but just let us know if you see it.
Are we good?
Yeah, you're just going to want to mute. Oh, I can mute your phone. Okay, perfect.
Okay. So we are back. Yes?
Yes, and I'm hearing that the people who are having an issue can now see, so perfect.
Oh, good. So, yeah, my phone just said that it was running out of battery, so I just connected it. In any rate, we are coming back to the body, to the main body of the bird. So we did one side of the wing like that, did wiggly, wavy lines, and the other side too. It may take a little practice to get them in together to end up in the same spot. The other way to go is to do it just with shapes. Triangle, line out, and a curve, and a curve. That's the simplest way to go, okay? Then you can make two curves for the tail, and then just put them together like that. I like this way. You can do it if you have a hard time with this other way, which is a little bit more like flowing, but you have to just draw more things like the wings, the feathers, and everything. Now we're gonna do the tail from one each side like that, and then you're gonna join them together with these wavy lines going, and we are done with the bird, which is really cool. It's very simple. Now we're ready for a rainbow. So the rainbow is right here, right? And we can see the lines. We're gonna draw the lines in this fashion. Or you can go the other way, but I like them this way, the way she's flying towards the rainbow. So the lines just are very simple, long curved lines. And just we go slowly, just follow the line. Of course, you won't draw the line inside the bird, so that because it's just right above the bird. And so it looks like the beautiful bird is just going towards this beautiful rainbow. So we're gonna one after the other, there are parallel lines. That means that they never touch, they just go along with it. And that's what we're doing.
And something that helps me if you're having maybe a little bit of a hard time making this line and then having it connect here is you can always start drawing the line and then just pick up your pencil a little bit and act like you're continuing the line and then put it back on the paper.
Yes, thank you, Neil. Good work, Patrick. That's really nice.
Thank you, Aurelio.
Yes, just continue like you maybe leave, you just take off the pencil and then continue when the wing ends. So that's a great technique. You're drawing, you take off when you touch the bird and then land back in the other side. That's a beautiful way to put it. So yeah, we do all the rainbow lines, and now we're ready, really ready to color. Okay, how much time we got? About 7 minutes? Or?
Yes, yeah, about 7 minutes.
Okay, so for our bird, we can do dark colors. It can be any dark colors. So I can choose gray, brown, maybe a little bit of dark blue. And they're all dark colors. And what I do is I color with the side of my pencil. If you can see the side. And that means I lay down the paper like this. I'm gonna shoot towards this is, if you see my other image, I have the pencil almost at the level of the paper. And so I'm gonna start just coloring like that. It's a really cool way to color. It's because you cover a lot of space and you don't make very strong lines. You just like spread the color nicely. I like to color like this. And so I'm not worrying about the edges because that's where light hits, so we can do something else with that. Maybe add a lighter color on the edges of the wing. So that's one, okay? And let's see, now I'm gonna do brown.
So you're mixing colors using colored pencil, Aurelio.
Yes, I'm mixing colors using color pencils. If you're using crayons, it's a little bit easier because they spread better. You just have to be careful not to put too much pressure on the crayon so you can spread the color nicely. Now I'm gonna get the dark blue and I'm gonna also add it. So you can just add it in a few spots. It just makes it look beautiful to me. It's just a nice mixing of colors. And then we can start working on the edges of the wings. Then we can choose maybe a light color, like light brown, and just do the edges like that. You can use the tip of your pencil if you like to. I just like it, especially when I cover big areas, to use the side of the pencil. But here, with doing these details, maybe it's easier to use the tip of the pencil or the tip of your crayon or marker. And then we're gonna do this side too. Oh, that's looking very beautiful. And good.
So we have about 4 minutes.
Okay, so we're doing the sides, and then we're gonna do very simple coloring of rainbows. And you are the experts of rainbows. Maybe I'm gonna touch up a little bit so that the colors merge better between the light colors and the dark colors. So I'm gonna do that a little bit. So to do our rainbows, then we just, we don't have to be too technical about it, and we just kind of start with different colors and just have fun with it. I'm gonna use markers, and first I'm gonna use the thick side of my marker and just do one line. The same as the pencil, you take off, then you don't touch the bird, and then just continue with that. So I'm gonna start with this color. Oh, I love this aquamarine color. Then in the next line, I can do this green color. How you doing? Nice. Patrick is coloring.
I'm doing mine as like a firebird, like a phoenix.
Whoa, that's very beautiful.
It's on like a bed of fire. It's like not even a rainbow. It's like fire.
Wow, I love it. I like that innovation. That's very good. Like a phoenix, like a firebird. And now I'm gonna do yellow. I love these markers. Oh my God. Then I'm gonna do pink, my favorite color. These markers are very flexible with that because the colors come out really strong. Then I'm gonna do red. I have all these beautiful colors. So that's the idea. It's a beautiful contrast between the dark color of the bird and the beautiful colors and variety of colors of our rainbow. And then we can add, I plan after I finish to add some pencil, color pencil. So that kind of completes the whole thing. But I can leave it like that with white. It also looks nice. Finally, my color, I can repeat some colors. I can go back to green, to the green colors here. If I like, you can start coloring a little bit like that. So just touching up some of those areas you left white, and that makes it even look very pretty. And you can combine colors. So I'm putting yellow between the blue and the red. I have this great aquamarine color. I'm gonna put it right above the pink and below the yellow. So that's what part of the fun, just to add colors. I have this beautiful pink color. And just completing your rainbow.
And so like Patrick, I only had a few colors with me, so mine is kind of like a sunset.
Oh, that looks beautiful. I think that's fantastic. So it's a sunset. It's the bird is flying towards the beautiful sunset.
Yes, yeah. So whatever colors you have.
Yeah, that is your own version of the rainbow, and the idea is just to combine them, and that what makes it very beautiful. So
great. All right, I think we have just about one more minute.
Okay, so I'll finish this part like this. And we're done.
Beautiful.
Wonderful. Beautiful. Thank you, Aurelio. And
thank you for joining me with the Sopilotito. Thank you, Patrick and Nell.
And thank you, everybody, for joining us in learning Aurelio's song. And we're going to bring in another educator for the second activity. So thank you so much, Aurelio.
Thank you. Goodbye. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye. Have a great...
Oh. got cut off, but I think he was going to say have a great day.
Mhm.
So I'm going to bring in another one of our teaching artists, Edwin.
Hi,
Hello,
Edwin.
how's everybody doing today?
Great.
I saw your cool rainbow birds.
Yeah.
I learned that you're all experts at making rainbows. I love that.
Our own kinds of rainbows.
Yeah, there's so many different kinds.
Mhm.
So what I'm going to do with everyone today is we're going to do an artwork that's inspired by a painting that's showing at the museum right now by an artist named Emilio Sanchez. And we're also going to read a story. So I thought I'd start with the story, then we look at the artwork, and then I'll show you an example of the activity that we're going to do that's inspired by the painting. So first I'll share my screen with the story. Can you see it?
Yes, it's not full screen,
Okay.
but we can see your screen. Perfect. There we go.
So the name of the story is Wake Up City. It's by Erica Silverman, illustrated by Laurie Fournier. My city sleeps, but we're awake in the quiet time before daybreak. When Daddy whispers, it's time to go, we set off in the street lamp's hazy glow. I think this is early around daylight savings time because it's quite dark. And I'm guessing it's morning. Like giant statues, tall trees doze, and rows of cars sleep tail to nose. A cat is curled up in a loop, yawning as we pass her stoop. Empty benches in the park look lonely in the fading dark. No one rides the waiting swings. I count 5 pigeons with tucked in wings. Then something changes, something shifts, like a curtain rising. Darkness lifts. Look around, it's growing light. Wake up, city. Goodbye, night. Look at all those buildings. I like how the light is hitting the building from one side. Can you see that here? It looks kind of orange. The gumdrop sun rises high in the cotton candy sky. A woman stretches. She starts to run. The city morning has begun. Oh, yeah, there she is, stretching her legs. Here comes a beast on hairy feet, whooshing, swooshing down the street. That's not a beast. I've seen these before. Brushes sweep, the driver waves and gives a beep. Swoosh, swoosh. I think that's one of those trucks that cleans the street. That's a sweet sweeper. And now the rumbling garbage truck stops the empty bins of muck. It tilts one over, dropping glop, and fills its belly with smelly slop. Yeah, they do. They are a little stinky. Store gates roll up, clatter, clang. Van doors open with a bang. Out comes apples, yams, and beets, and trays of donuts that smell so sweet. It's so bright outside now. That happens sometimes when you leave the house early in the morning, right? You get to see the light really change. It's bright and busy at the gym, but the toy store is closed. Its lights are dim. Inside the fish mart, chips gleam, and the pretzel cart makes clouds of steam. Oh, so you have all the different signs on the buildings. This is the gym. This one says Mimi's Toys. This is a fish market. So many different signs and buildings. Wake up, garden. Wake up, seeds. Gardeners bend to pull up weeds. They gather carrots in a crate. Daddy says, come on, we're late. Oh, this reminds me of Patrick. This is something Patrick does.
I do garden.
I stop to watch the drill machine, but then the traffic lights turn green. Time is flying, tick, tick, tock. Hurry, hurry, one more block. That man is walking so many dogs at the same time. I don't think I could do that. We're holding hands and running fast. I see my school. We're here at last. Oh, that's why they left so early. I'm ready to work and learn and play. Wake up. Wake up, city. Hello, day. And that's the end of our story. So I hope you can remember some of the different buildings that you saw in the story that maybe that could help to inspire you for your artwork later. And maybe you would also think of some buildings or some things in your neighborhood. So we're going to look at an artwork by an artist that's showing at the Bronx Museum right now. His name is Emilio Sanchez. So you can see that this artwork is probably showing a place that's familiar to a lot of you. This is showing, you know, by the letters, it says pharmacy here and has many bright colors, right? If you've seen this kind of a store or a pharmacy at a corner, you probably would see a lot more words and a lot more detail too, right? But Emilio Sanchez likes to simplify his artwork by making it to big blocks of color. So we can identify some clear and basic shapes that we see, right? So a lot of the objects that are in the window just look like small rectangle shapes. I hear lots of people when they see this artwork sometimes think that they might be books. And we have the signs here at the top it looks just like two rectangles, right? One's yellow and one's green. And we see a little bit of the sky and that looks like a triangle, right? So all pretty simple shapes. So I want you to keep that in mind when we work on our art activity. So I'm going to show you what that will look like now. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And let me move some things around on my desk so that I can flip my laptop down and show you some things in a moment. But I think if I show you the finished product before I do that, that might make things a little easier. So we're going to make something that looks like this. So not exactly the same as Emilio Sanchez, but I'm sure you could see some of the similarities, right? You see there are lots of simple shapes. Most of them are rectangles or squares, and there's pretty simple colors as well. So I know that some of you get supplies from the museum to do an art activity, and some of you have things at home. So what we'll be needing is you'll need a white piece of paper. You will need, if you got your set from the museum, this was already done for you, but basically you'll need 3 pieces of paper that are about this size. This is like half of a sheet of like construction paper size, right? So if you're just working with things you have at home and you have construction paper at home, you'll just take a sheet and cut it in half. You want to try to have different colors. So the half sizes, I would say have at least 3 different colors, right? Because then when you layer it, like I showed you in the example, you can see differences in the rectangle shapes. If it's all the same color, it's a little harder to see. But if you don't have that, you could probably use magazines or whatever else you have handy. You might use paper bag, right? Or a combination of those things. So we just went over the paper. Eventually you will want to cut things with scissors. So you're going to need scissors. And you will also definitely need a glue stick. You might have these at home, and this is something that we wanted in the packet. These little Post-it notes. This is what we use for the small windows, right? Because it just will mean that you have to cut it less. And then if you have stickers, that's cool too, because you might be able to get even smaller shapes, right? So if you got your kit from the museum, you would have some stickers. You see, I already used a lot of mine. Patrick has so many more. Okay, so I'm gonna put some of my materials on my table, and then I'm gonna flip my laptop screen down so that you can see what I'm working on, and we can do it together. So start with your white paper. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned, but you will need glue. I have a glue stick.
you said the glue stick. And
did.
so if you don't happen to have a glue stick, if you couldn't get the kit, I think you can probably use any kind of glue you have or maybe even tape, but a glue stick is probably going to be the easiest.
Yeah, because it's just less messy, so it makes it a little easier. And it doesn't come out, sometimes it comes out a little bumpy if you use the other glue, but that's fine. We can work with that. So what you want to do is you're just going to want to cut your papers to different sizes. So I have green, I have blue, and I have red. So I'm going to work with these 3 different colors. As you can see, they don't all look the same. So if you choose 3 colors that sort of look very different from each other, that creates what we call contrast, which means that things stand out more, right? So I'm just going to start by cutting this in half. You could fold it if you want to be precise. Right? So then I have 3 sizes. And then I'm going to fold this in half. I'm going to cut that so that I have even more rectangles. Right? So want to spread them out some. We're going to layer our building so it looks like a skyline, right? So maybe think about where you think you're going to want to put things before you glue them. And you could start thinking about what order you want them to be in. So I don't want to put my green on my green because I won't be able to see it so well. So I'm going to move it over here. And then maybe I'll put my blue where the red is. And I'll put my red where the green is. Right? I'm going to have to move these again when I glue them down, but I'm just trying to get a plan right now. So I have a little space on the bottom, which I think I'm going to want to stand my other buildings on that space. So let's see, what order am I going to put these in? So probably do red on the green, green on the blue, and then blue on the blue. Okay, so this is, and I could even start playing with making some higher and some lower. They don't have to be all even, right? So just so I could start to think about how I want this to look. My paper, I didn't cut perfectly, is sticking up a little bit, so I'm going to turn it around. So these are the kinds of things that I'm talking about. Oh, I like the bright colors that Patrick has. They're so different from mine. And Nell's colors are completely different too. Reminds me of clothing.
Yeah, because I'm using a paper bag and then I'm also using some pages from a magazine. So I like how the blue looks against that kind of rougher brown.
Yeah, it reminds me of like blue jeans and khakis. So now when you decided where you want things to be, you could start gluing them down, right? So there's different ways you could approach that. You could take things off and put them back on, or you could start to do like a little at a time. You could start gluing things where they're sort of like overlapping so that you just have one bigger piece instead of having to move one smaller piece. So I think I'm going to take that approach and I'm going to start to attach the ones that are on the first layer to each other.
And I'm doing kind of the opposite approach where I took all my stuff off and I'm going to do it layer by layer. So I'm doing the biggest ones that are going to be in the back first.
Yeah, and I did the ones on the front first. So you see now it's almost like they're one paper. So it'd be easy for me to move it back. That's why I decided to do it that way. For some people, I think it might be tricky to understand. So maybe Nell's approach might be a little better for you if you're getting confused. Either way is fine. So now it's like I have 3 layers. so it's easier for me to put back. So you'll notice that when I use the glue stick, I find that it's easier to just kind of like, just draw like a line or a few lines. It's a little faster than if you smudge it all over the place, and you're able to use a little less glue. But smudging it all over the place is also arguably more fun.
Yep.
And then you also want to check to make sure that, it's glued down right. So you want to check your corners and your edges, because it's easy for them to come up. And glue sticks also, they dry so fast, Sometimes if we don't move fast enough, it doesn't glue down well. Okay, so I have my 3 layers, which are separate, and I'm going to put down one at a time. So this is another one of those, you do have some choice in how you do things, right? Patrick's so fast. So we have our Post-it notes, which we could use for windows, right? So because you know that things start to cover each other, right? I'm going to choose to put some of my windows down now, because it might make it a little easier for me to cover different spaces. Or I could just plan before I glue stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna take 2 sheets to start off with, and I'm gonna cut them down kind of like we did before, where we folded it and did like to smaller pieces. I'm gonna cut it twice so that I end up with 4. So this will give me, how many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. I have 8 pieces. Okay, so I'm gonna start deciding where to put them.
And I'm using stickers.
Oh, nice.
I'm actually using the small stickers for the buildings in the far back part of mine.
Oh,
They're further away, so I thought they might look smaller.
that's a good strategy. I use the small ones in my sample on the front,
Mm-hmm.
because the buildings were smaller, so it was easy to get it on.
Also a good strategy.
And so if you got the kits, you might have gotten these smaller Post-it notes or regular. I only have regular, so I just keep cutting that big square in half and then half again, and now I have these littler squares.
Right, you might want to cut it a few more times, or fold it down a few more times before you cut it. Okay, I think this is good. I could probably fit more on the side. Cut some more. Okay, now I'm going to glue some of these down. About 10 more minutes. It's a good amount of time.
Yeah.
Ooh, it can take a little while, especially when you have so many little pieces.
Mm.
So some parts of if you use the Post-it notes to make your small windows, some parts of it are already sticky, right? Because that's what Post-it notes do. But I would probably still take it off and put some glue behind just to make it more secure, because it's usually like the whole part of it isn't sticky, just like a small side, one side. We got the Post-it notes mostly because they're easy to find and they're small papers, so they're easier to cut down. So it would just have, so you'd have to cut a little less. Save us a little work. Okay, I think that's pretty good. So I'm gonna glue this down now, because you could see that I put my windows around, and this space is perfect to fit my next row. Always like to check to make sure that the shapes aren't coming off. Always need a little extra glue.
Yeah, you might need more than you think.
Mm-hmm. It fools you. Let's see. This one's probably going to go here like this. So just going to put windows, I think, on the top. And I'm going to use my stickers for the one that's here. Maybe I'll do a combination. We'll see. So now I'm going to glue down my last row.
Great, and we got about 5 more minutes.
Perfect timing.
Yeah.
You'd think I practiced this or something.
Can't believe it worked out like that.
I know. What a coincidence. Okay, so let's see.
And again, if you need a little more time, if it's taking you a bit longer, of course, you can always just continue, and Edwin will kind of show you how to get to the finished product, but you can also rewatch this video on our website soon.
So since I seem to have less stickers, I'm just going to put a few. I think I'm going to use different shapes to like make what might be my door. Why not have a triangle door? Why not?
I have 3 triangle doors.
Oh, so cool.
Those are cool built. That's a cool city.
I used only stickers for my windows
Oh, that's good.
because I had a whole sheet of them.
Yeah, it's actually probably more fun than doing the Post-its.
It's pretty fun putting.
You don't get glue on your hands.
It's fun to make the choice of which sticker to put where. You know, it's fun.
But I have to share with you that there is an advantage to using the Post-its. You can draw on them.
Oh yeah.
Because the stickers have like this kind of coating on it that makes it a little tricky to draw on. But you can draw on the white parts of your paper, or you can draw on the other part of the building. Right? Maybe you want to draw some bricks on there. That's one of the things that I'm probably going to do. Now, I didn't finish putting all of my windows in, but I'm noticing that we're running out of time. And I would like to show you what it's like to draw some details. So we included a black ballpoint pen in the kit. Maybe you have like one of those skinny Sharpies or something else at home, or a black pen like this, this comes out nice and dark, and it's also easy for people to get. So that's one of the reasons why we thought it would be a good idea to use. So I'm going to use mine to draw some details in the windows. But you don't have to stop there if you don't want. You can draw things on the street. So I'm going to turn it over so you get a better idea what mine looks like. Right?
Cool.
So maybe you want to draw like sidewalk. Maybe you want to do a stop sign.
That's nice, Nell. All three of ours look really different.
They look totally different. See, I drew like stop sign, a garbage can, right? Maybe you want to do some bricks on your building.
Yeah, it's a little hard to see, but I ended up doing some bricks on this dark blue one. And all three of ours look really different, but I think you can also tell that we were all doing the same activity. So we'd love to see what yours look like. If you want to send us pictures, you can send them to education@bronxmuseum.org.
That would be great. We'd love to see them. So colorful, Patrick.
Thank you.
I feel like my building's a little naked without some of those windows.
Yeah, I really like I wish I had triangular windows in my apartment. I can imagine them.
That would be really cool.
Yeah.
Sounds like a very, very fancy building.
Yeah.
Triangles.
Yeah, it'd be pretty fancy.
I'm just adding my last couple of windows with the time we have left, which is not a lot. Great. Now I feel much better. Because now everything seems more even.
I might glue my pages together.
Oh,
Looks beautiful.
you can.
I got a phoenix.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, look at that.
yeah. So everybody
Cool.
who was here the whole time and also did Aurelio's bird drawing activity, you can see if you want to put them together and remember the whole afternoon.
Yeah.
That's great. What a good idea. That's a big bird. That's a big bird of fire, that phoenix. Okay, friends. Well, thanks so much for joining us today.
Yeah,
Thank
thank you,
you.
everybody. Again, we will be putting this online. We have a few more family affairs coming up before the end of the school year. We'll have one in April, one in May, and one in June. You can find the dates on our website. We hope to see you. And if you're in New York, I hope you enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. And again, we'd love to hear your feedback, but also see some images of what you've worked on. You can always email education@bronxmuseum.org. So thank you again so much for joining us.